Now, an early American hoedown. And in this square dance, the calls are done by one of our guest stars, the lovely Annette.
Long ago when buffalo roamed the prairies, long before the white man and his gun, red man did this dance before each roundup. Listen and we'll show you how it's done. Indian braves give great big grunt, do a hop before the buffalo hunt, squat in front with brave in line. Buffalo roundup, give a war whoop, and hear the war drum beat. Grab a partner, first one that you meet, hand on shoulder, form a line. Then you hop into a serpentine, it's so easy and it's fun. Buffalo roundup. Buffalo roundup, give a war whoop, and hear the war drum beat. Bring your partner, sweep her off her feet. Build a teepee, through you go. Every Indian a bending low. It's so easy and it's fun. The Buffalo roundup, the Buffalo roundup.
Over the years, we've had many famous people in our audiences, like presidents and kings and princes and princesses and many motion picture and stage personalities. And so once again, we're happy to know that one of the most beloved and all-time greats of show business is here now to honor our 10,000th performance. So let's give a big welcome to Ed Wynn.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
I think it would be appropriate if Mr. Wynn would take a bow up here on the stage. We have spent over 60 years of his life.
I'd be delighted. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. Wynn, it's nice...
Wait. Don't call me mister. I'd love to call you Betty. Would you call me Ed?
All right. Ed, it's nice to have you with us.
Well, I'm very, very happy to be here. Very thrilled, as a matter of fact. Takes me back many years. I actually played some theaters like this with footlights like
Oh, in the Old West?
Well, to be perfectly honest about it, when I first went in vaudeville, the Old West had not yet been discovered. Geronimo wasn't even a juvenile delinquent.
Oh. Is it true that you were on the opening bill at the famous Palace Theater?
Yes. I was on the only American actor on the opening bill. I'm very proud of that.
Oh.
Yes, that was in 1913. What made you think of that? That's nearly 50 years ago. I remember the first joke I ever told in vaudeville. I told it, here's the joke I told. Don't blame me for it. A little boy was yelling for help in the river. Policeman heard him, and he took a dive in the river, and he grabbed the boy, and he rescued him, and he put him on the pier, and as he was drying the little boy off, he said to him, he said, son, how did you come to fall in the river? And the little boy said, I didn't come to fall in, I came to fish. Pretty awful, huh?
Weren't you called the perfect fool in 1903?
Oh, no, not in those days, no. In those days, I was called the boy with the funny hat.
Oh, would you tell me about it?
Tell you, I'll show it to you.
Oh, good.
Sure, I have it here in the box.
Or in a hat box?
No, right here.
Oh.
This box here. Here it is. Now, it may look silly to you, but it isn't, see? The college boys used to wear hats like this, Panama hats. At the turn of the century, this was the style. Now, I used it as a gimmick. I would tell a joke, and if the joke wasn't funny or if the audience, I was afraid they wouldn't laugh, I'd change the shape of the hat.
That's clever.
Yeah, well, that's what I did all through the act. You see, for instance, I'd tell another joke. And if they didn't laugh, I'd change the shape of the hat again and do something like that. You know, I can remember telling one joke in a city, I forget where it was, but they didn't laugh. When I put the hat on, they screamed.
I like
They just screamed. Then, of course, I always had a finish, which everybody has to have in vaudeville. And the next one, of course, was up like this here. I did that, and then I do that and walk. That's the story of the boy in the funny hat.
Ed Vaudeville must have been wonderful.
Yes, it was. It was. It was very lovely and very romantic. Oh, it was great. I like vaudeville. Say, with your help, we can turn back the clock all the way back to the old vaudeville days. If you'll change your costume, I'll change mine, and we'll do something together, all right?
All right. But changing costumes takes time, and...
Oh, don't worry. You just leave everything to me.
All right.
Would you please open the curtains? Now, I've got something right here. I always carry it with me. This here.
What in the world is that?
Oh, just an old invention of mine. I'd be lost without it. Hey. There you are.
A dressing room.
Yes. Always carry it with me, because I never know when I'm going to be called upon, just like now up here. But I'm always hoping. Tell you what we'll do. Let us change our costumes, and I'll meet you out here.
Well, all right.
What took you so long? Say, this is ridiculous. Something went wrong.
It sure did.
Well, you know, I haven't used this thing for so long. You know, now let me see. Never happened to me before, you know. Oh, now I remember. I know exactly what it is. There.
His and hers.
Well, there is a difference, you know. Shall we try it again?
The sooner the better.
It worked.
Well, now what do we do?
Well, first we have to get rid of the dressing room. Stage hand? Would you please take this dressing room? And my son Keenan can't understand why I won't retire. You know, Betty, you got me in the old vaudeville things now. In those days, we would always open an act with a joke. Would you be the straight woman for me?
Yes, I will.
Well, you have to ask me 3 questions, and then I'll tell this joke. The first question you ask me is, who are you? Then you say, who are you looking for? Then you say, do you think you'll find them? And I'll crack the joke. Have you got it?
I've got it.
Well, now, wait a minute. There's a prop goes with this, too, you know.
All right.
See, from the railroad, you see. Now, watch this here. Now, go and ask me the question.
Who are you?
I'm a detective.
Who are you looking for?
I'm looking for the president of this railroad.
You think you'll find him?
I don't know, but I'm on his track. It's kind of awful, isn't it? Well, I'll tell you, Betty, in a 2-act, when it was a girl, she always sang a song. If you'll sing, I'll play for you.
On what?
Oh, on my piano. I have a piano out here in the parking lot.
In the parking lot?
You wait here. I'll bring it to you. You just stay right there. Can you see it?
Oh, it's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Maybe it's an unusual piano.
Oh.
Do you really, really like it?
Yes, I do.
Huh?
Oh, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Say, this would be great for salesmen to peddle their pianos from door to door.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's my card.
Half piano will travel. Well, can you accompany me on it?
Oh, with this piano, I can accompany you any place. You know, Betty, in the old days of vaudeville, we used to try to think of very unusual things, you know. So I'd like you to sit up here on the piano.
Well, I'd love to, but I don't think I can sing that high.
Oh, don't be silly. Some of the greatest singers in the world have been up here.
Oh, really?
Really. Al Jolson, Jimmy Durante, Eddie Cantor, Edith Piaf, Jane Froman, Dinah Shaw.
Well, how do I get up there?
Well, do you see a ledge down there?
Yes.
Put your left foot on that.
Uh-huh.
There's another thing there. Put your right foot and give me a hand here.
Yes.
Now, don't be afraid. Come right ahead. There.
Follow that car.
I wish I'd have thought of that one. Are you all right up there, Betty?
Just fine, but it'll be the first time I ever sang side saddle.
You look so young and beautiful up there. Gee whiz. If you were only 20 years older and I was 20 years younger, no, I'd still be too old.
No idea you played so well.
Well, I should. I come from a very musical family, you know.
Oh?
Yes, I had an uncle who was really a virtuoso on, what do you call those?
Bass viol.
Bass viol. My uncle played the bass viol for 8 years, but he had to give it up because it hurt him socially.
But why?
Well, every time he'd ask a young lady to dance, he'd grab her around the neck with one hand and slap her on the back with the other, you know. Would you do something for me? Would you sing a song for me?
I'd love to.
Well, this is really old water, but it's beautiful. Tea for two.
Oh, yes. That's the one.
Well, I don't know that. But I'll tell you, I think it would be much more graceful if the maestro and the rest of the musicians accompanied you. You know, then I won't show off. What key do you sing that in?
D flat.
D flat. Boys, I'll give you the cue.
Picture me upon your knee, just 2 for 2 and 2 for tea. Me for you and you for me alone. There's nobody near us to see us or hear us, no friends or relations on weekend vacations. We won't have it known that we own a telephone. Day will break and I'll awake and start to bake a sugar cake for you to take, for all the boys to see. You see,